Hello everyone and welcome. Before we start, here is a short note. Adolf Hitler was the ruler of Nazi Germany from 1933 to 1945. He began World War II, caused the deaths of millions, and led one of the darkest times in human history. We are not telling this story to praise him. We are not telling it to attack him either. This video is only for learning, to understand history, to practice English, and to know what really happened in his last 24 hours. If you want to watch his full life story, you can see his complete biography on our channel. But today, we look only at the last day, the end of everything. Told like a film, but based on facts. Welcome to the last day of a man the world will always remember. This is not politics. This is not about respect or hate. This is about one point in time, the last 24 hours of Adolf Hitler. A man who once spoke to millions, now sat in silence. A man who once led armies, now stayed hidden underground, waiting for death. And today, we will walk through those last hours with you. We will enter the bunker. We will hear the bombs crash above. We will see the fear of those who stayed with him till the end. And yes, this video is also great for English practice. We use real events, clear words, and strong images, so you can improve your English while learning about one of the most tense days in history. Let's begin. Part 1. April 29th, 1945. The bunker, the bride, and the breaking point. It is late at night. Above, the city is burning. But deep below, inside the cold concrete bunker under Berlin, time feels slower. Adolf Hitler, age 56, sits alone. He knows the war is lost. He knows the Soviets are taking the city street by street. He knows death is near. And yet, he makes a strange choice. He tells his helper, "Prepare a wedding. Tonight I will marry Eva." Why now? Why, after 14 years of waiting, did he decide to marry her at the very end? Eva Braun had been with Hitler since she was 17. She stayed in the shadows, never shown in public, never named in speeches. For 14 years, she waited quietly, away from the world. Twice, she tried to take her life, not because he harmed her, but because she felt unseen. Still, she remained. She trusted him. And in the final days, she refused to leave the bunker, even when others begged her to escape. That was when Hitler knew. This woman had stayed, not for power, not for money, but from blind loyalty. And so, with the city falling and the walls shaking, he said, "She will have my name, even for just a few hours." It was not romance. It was not love. It was order, ritual, and ending. He wanted to leave life with everything fixed, a marriage, a will, a last order, and a planned death. This was the start of his goodbye. In a small, quiet room, the wedding took place. No flowers, no music, only pens scratching and bombs exploding above. Eva Braun wore a pale blue silk dress. Her face was calm, almost too calm. Witnesses said she smiled as if she accepted her fate. Hitler wore a black suit. No medals, no uniform. A civil officer stood before them and asked the usual words. "Do you take this woman?" Hitler answered, "Yes." And after 14 years, they were husband and wife. The staff tried to celebrate. A table was set. A bottle of champagne was opened. But no one really drank. No one laughed. The air was too heavy. One witness later said, "It felt like a funeral, not a wedding." After this, Hitler went to another room and sat at his desk. His hand shook as he began to speak his final words. His secretary, Traudl Jung, typed as he spoke. He did not say sorry. He did not weep. He did not accept defeat. Instead, he blamed the Jews for the war. He blamed his generals for betrayal. He said history would understand him, though he would not live to see it. Then he said very clearly, "I do not want my body taken. I want it to be burned." He remembered Mussolini, whose body was hanged in the streets. He would not allow that. He signed the papers slowly, carefully, his last command. It was near 5 a.m. With the document finished, Hitler went to rest, not to sleep, for no one slept that night, but to lie down and wait. Above, Berlin was falling. Soviet tanks broke through the last defenses. Buildings turned to ash. German people ran, cried, and died. But inside the bunker, it felt frozen. The walls were thick. The air was still. It was like a glass world, shaking only when bombs hit. Eva stayed beside him. She held his hand. They did not speak much. They did not need to. They both knew this was their wedding night and their last night. Hitler's servant brought him a small meal: bread, honey, and tea. He ate little. He looked thinner than ever. His face had aged badly. His right hand shook. His eyes were lifeless. His voice was soft, almost a whisper. He did not speak of hope or plans. He just sat with Eva, drinking tea while the world above collapsed. Then came the news. Heinrich Himmler, the man who had served him for years, had tried to make peace with the Allies without asking Hitler. Hitler read the report for a long time. Then he exploded. He shouted, hit the table, and screamed, "Traitor! Betrayer! I should have known!" He ordered Himmler's arrest. But deep inside, he knew there was no one left to obey. His system was broken, and for the first time, even Hitler looked finished. His eyes went empty. He leaned back. He knew the end had come. Part 2. April 29th, 1945. Afternoon to late evening. It is now noon. The air in the bunker feels heavy. There is no fresh air, no sunlight, only stale breath and fear. Adolf Hitler walks slowly into the map room where he once planned battles. In the past, he stood there with generals, pointing at maps, moving armies. But now the maps are useless. The lines mean nothing. The war is lost. The empire is broken. He looks at the maps, not to plan, but to remember. These maps were once symbols of victory. Now they are only signs of failure. He does not speak much. His body shakes. His legs feel weak. His doctor offers him medicine. He refuses because he knows this is not a war room anymore. It is a museum of defeat. Hitler had one companion he trusted most, his dog Blondie, a German shepherd. She had been with him for years, always near, always quiet. She was loyal and calm. But now, Hitler calls his doctor Werner Haas and says something shocking. Bring the poison capsules, test them on Blondie. Why? Because Hitler no longer trusted anyone, not even the poison given by his own men. He feared they would trick him, give him fake capsules, and leave him to suffer. So the doctor gave Blondie one capsule. The dog died within seconds. No sound, no fight, just silence. Hitler said nothing. He simply turned away. This was his proof. The poison was real. He could use it too. For many in the bunker, this was the moment things changed. When Hitler killed the one creature he trusted, they understood. He was not going to escape. He was not going to survive. He was planning to die. But it did not stop with Blondie. Eva's two terriers, Wolf and Stasi, were next. Even Blondie's small puppies, only weeks old, were killed by the dog handler. They were poisoned quickly, without a sound. Why? Because Hitler did not want to leave anything behind. No body, no family, no pet, no sign. The bunker was becoming a place of erasing. If he was leaving, then everything close to him had to vanish too. That afternoon, Hitler met with his last officers. They had served him for many years. Now, they saw a man who looked old, tired, and nearly dead. Some begged again, Mein Führer, we can still escape. There is a plane. We can disguise you. You can go south. But Hitler shook his head. No, I will not run. I will not be taken. He told them clearly, I will stay here. I will die in Berlin. Some were shocked. Some were afraid. Some felt a kind of relief, because now they could try to leave. He gave permission for others to escape through tunnels. Some aides, drivers, and guards prepared to run that night. Most would not survive. But Hitler was finished moving, finished leading, finished fighting. Back in his room, Hitler sat with Eva Braun. She had changed into a dark blue dress, simple, no makeup, no jewelry. She had not cried. She had not shown fear. She was ready to die. Hitler told her, you can still leave. Go with them. Save yourself. But she smiled softly and answered, no, I stay with you. It was not love. It was not passion. It was loyalty. Cold, blind loyalty. They sat together in silence. No music, no talk, only the sounds of Berlin breaking apart above them. Hitler then called his secretaries, aides, and close staff. One by one, he shook their hands. He did not give a speech. He did not say long words. He only said, thank you. You may go. One secretary, Gerda Christian, later said he looked like a ghost, but still polite. Some cried. Some held his hand too long. But Hitler's face stayed blank, calm, and cold, as if he was already gone. That moment closed a chapter. The people who once stood around him like servants to a king were now leaving, one by one, until only Eva remained. The strange thing is, the night became quiet. Hitler ate a small meal, just bread and tea. He sat with Eva. They spoke little. Outside, the bombs grew louder. The Soviets were now only a few streets away. Gunfire could be heard above the garden. But inside, Hitler did not move. He was not writing in his notebook. He was not giving commands. He was not reading the news. His war was already finished. Hitler stood up slowly. His legs were weak. His steps were heavy. He went to his private room. Eva followed him. The door closed behind them. Guards stayed outside, but no one was allowed in. It was not a night for rest. It was a night to prepare, because when the sun rose, everything would end. Part 3. April 30th, 1945. The final hours. As April 30th begins, time feels strange inside the Führer bunker. Above, Berlin is falling street by street. The sounds of guns, bombs, and even voices are non-stop. The Soviets are almost at the doors, but inside, it is quiet. Hitler lies in bed, eyes open, staring upward. He does not sleep. Eva Braun lies beside him, calm, silent, already gone in her mind. She knows it is her last night. In the hall, staff whisper softly. No one knows what to say. The bunker has turned into a waiting room for death. Hitler rises slowly. His steps are weak. His back bends. His clothes hang on his thin frame. He walks into the corridor. His eyes meet the few loyal faces left. No rage, no fear, only stillness. Like a man who already said goodbye in his heart. He sits in the dining room with Eva. They share a small breakfast, the same as always. Bread and tea. Eva tries to smile. Hitler tries to act steady, but everyone knows this is not food. It is a final ritual before the end, one they will choose for themselves. Hitler calls his aide Otto Günsche and gives two clear orders. First, when he and Eva are dead, their bodies must be carried out at once and burned. Second, the burning must be complete. No trace should remain. He reminds Otto about Mussolini, hung in public, mocked, shamed. "That will not happen to me," Hitler says. "You must burn us fully." Otto nods. His face is pale. His hands shake. Still, he agrees, because refusal was never possible. Hitler gets dressed. Not in uniform, not in medals, but in a plain military jacket, buttoned tight, with dark trousers. Eva wears a dark blue silk dress, her favorite. No jewels, just perfume. She brushes her hair carefully, like a bride ready for her last moment. Then, Hitler steps into the corridor. Slowly, he greets his staff. He shakes their hands, one by one. To some, he speaks a word. To others, only a nod. "Thank you," he tells his secretary, Traudel. "You may leave now. You have served me well." Some begin to cry. Others cannot speak. One guard, Raucous Mish, later said, "He looked like a shadow, not a man. Calm, but the calm of someone who had given up." The goodbyes continue, one after another. No speeches, no tears from him, only silence. Hitler and Eva return to their private room. Eva sits on the sofa, steady, without fear. She holds a small metal capsule, cyanide. She looks at him. They had spoken many times. They would not let the Soviets catch them. They would die by their own choice. Hitler holds a capsule too. But he also takes his Walther pistol, the gun he had trusted for years. He plans to use both the pill and the bullet, to make certain. He calls Otto Günsche and his valet, Heinz Linge. He says, "The time has come. Wait outside. When it is done, open the door." Otto and Heinz nod. They step into the hall and stand silently, only a few steps away. Inside, Hitler and Eva sit together on the sofa. 3:30 p.m., the final act. No one sees what happens in that room, but those nearby hear one sharp sound, a single gunshot. Otto and Heinz rush in. What they see becomes one of the most written moments of modern history. Hitler lies on the sofa, still. A wound marks his right temple. Blood spreads across the wall and floor. Eva lies next to him. Her body has no mark, only the smell of bitter almonds from the cyanide. Both are dead. The man who once ruled millions is now a silent body in an underground room. As told, Otto and Heinz begin the task. They wrap the bodies in gray blankets. They carry them up the stairs, through the narrow hall, and out into the garden near the chancellery. It is daylight. The ground shakes with shells. The Soviets are close. They set the bodies in a small crater near the exit. They pour can after can of fuel over them. Otto strikes a match. He drops it. Flames rise. The bodies burn. No music, no words, no army, no flag. Only smoke, fire, and silence. They salute the flames, then hurry back inside as bullets fly overhead. In the bunker, the last staff gather. Otto reports, "The Führer is dead. His body has been burned." There is no joy, no ceremony, only pale faces and empty eyes. For a moment, no one speaks. Then someone whispers, "It's over." And just like that, all Hitler had made, all he controlled, all he dreamed, was now ashes in a garden. Part 4. April 30th, 1945. 4 p.m. onward. Above the bunker, in the garden, the bodies of Hitler and Eva Braun are burning. Thick black smoke rises. At first, the flames are strong, but soon they begin to fade. The ground is wet from rain, and there is not much fuel left. More gasoline is poured, more fire is lit, but the bodies do not burn fully. Inside, people sit in silence. No one talks about tomorrow. No one makes plans. They only wait, scared, knowing the Soviets could arrive any moment. Before dying, Hitler had written his final paper. In it, he named Admiral Karl Dönitz as Germany's new leader. Not Himmler, not Goebbels. Dönitz, far away in the north, gets the message. He is shocked. Germany is collapsing. Berlin is lost. The war is finished. Yet now he is leader of a broken land. Quickly, he tries to deal with the Allies, hoping to give up to the West instead of the Soviets. Inside the Führerbunker, the feeling is different. The man who gave all the orders is gone. No more commands, no more plan, no more future. Secretaries, cooks, soldiers, helpers, they realize the truth. This is no longer a government, only a tomb. Some begin to pack small bags. They grab coats, bread, water, and maps. They know they must escape. Capture may mean torture or death, but there is no clear, safe road. Now, Joseph Goebbels, the propaganda minister, is the highest Nazi left inside. He saw Hitler's end, but Goebbels will not flee, will not surrender. He tells his wife Magda, "We will not live in a world without him." Together, they make a dark choice. They will die here and take their 6 children with them. The idea shocks the others, but nobody argues. While Goebbels plans death, others plan escape. Guards, officers, and staff study maps. Some think of tunnels. Others will dress as civilians. Some wait for night to slip out under fire. The first group, about 20 people, leaves before sunset. In plain clothes, with light bags, they step out. But outside is chaos. Soviet tanks roll in. Guns fire on every corner. Flames light the sky. Only a few get away. Most are caught or killed within hours. Otto Gunsche and Heinz Linge return to the garden. They look at the remains of Hitler and Eva. The sight is terrible. The bodies are still clear in places. Skin burned, clothes black, but bones and faces not gone. Again, they pour fuel. Again, they burn. Still not enough. At last, they gather the half-burned remains and bury them in a shallow hole near the exit. They cover the place with dirt, broken wood, and rubble. No mark, no sign. They want them lost forever. Below, Magda Goebbels gives her children sleeping pills. 6 small ones, ages 4 to 12. In clean white clothes, they fall asleep. An SS doctor helps her give cyanide while they sleep. The children never wake. Then Joseph and Magda walk to the garden, the same spot where Hitler and Eva ended. They sit side by side. Joseph shoots himself. Magda takes poison. Their bodies are also burned, though not fully. The bunker becomes a grave. Hope is gone. Leaders are dead. The Soviets fill the city. The air shakes with gunfire. No help will come. Some cry, some drink, some pray. Some sit in silence, staring at the wall. They don't know what is next. But one thing is clear. This is not war anymore. This is only the end. Part 5. May 1st to May 9th, 1945. The aftermath. The bunker is darker than ever. The man it was built to protect is gone. His partner is gone. His dogs, generals, and closest circle, dead or escaping. Yet above, the battle still rages. Soviet soldiers push through Berlin. Streets filled with bullets, grenades, falling bodies. Inside, only a few remain. They are hungry, trapped, afraid, unsure if death or capture comes first. That night, German radio speaks. It is Admiral Dönitz from the north. He says Adolf Hitler has died, but not how. The Führer fell in battle, fighting for Germany. A lie. The truth, suicide, is hidden. The Nazis want to guard Hitler's image, but the world will soon know. Soviet troops finally reach the chancellery above the bunker. They shoot or arrest the last guards. They storm the ruins, then move down inside. Cold, wet, filled with smoke, half-flooded. Burned papers in piles, maps on walls, food scattered, poison capsules left behind, beds unmade, blood on the floor. Yet one thing is missing: Hitler's body. The Soviets search each room. They question survivors. They dig in tunnels. They check the garden. Then they find a shallow hole near the door. Inside, a burned man with a bullet hole in the skull. A half-burned woman, no wounds. Burned clothes, boots, buttons, and a dental piece. They think it may be Hitler and Eva. But the bodies are too damaged to prove quickly. They take the remains, keep them secret, run autopsies in silence. In Moscow, Stalin gets the report. He sees the photos, but he does not tell the world. Why? He wants to control the truth. He thinks if no proof is given, doubt will grow. So he stays silent. And with silence comes myth. Soon, rumors spread. Maybe Hitler escaped. Maybe he went to Argentina. Maybe a body double died. Maybe the Soviets lied. Even though his staff saw him dead, even though a body was found, stories take root. When truth is hidden, lies grow. It took many years to confirm, but this is what truly happened. Soviet doctors did autopsies on the burned bodies. They checked dental records, the surest method. Hitler's dental worker, alive after the war, confirmed the records. The jaw with gold bridgework was his. The Soviets kept it secret for decades. Only in the 1990s did they admit, yes, the body was Hitler's. With Hitler dead, Goebbels dead, and Berlin fallen, there was nothing left. On May 7th, Germany signed surrender to the West. On May 9th, to the Soviets. The war in Europe was over. Nazi Germany was gone. The Third Reich, once feared across the world, ended in smoke, silence, and a bunker. News spread quickly. Headlines read, Hitler dead, suicide confirmed, Germany surrenders, war in Europe ends. Some cheered in the streets. Some cried quietly. Some refused to believe. How could a man who caused so much terror end his life with poison and a gun? It felt too simple, but it was true. He did not fight to the last breath. He did not face trial. He ended his life himself, underground in fear and ruin. Later, the Soviets destroyed what was left. They blew up the site, covered it with concrete, and tried to erase it. For decades, the place was hidden. Today, it is just a parking lot in Berlin. No marker, no statue, no honor. Germany chose never to give glory to the place where evil ended. And that choice matters. This was the real story of Hitler's final 24 hours. Not to praise, not to defend, not to insult, but to teach, to explain, to remember. What do we learn? Power built on hate will always fall in silence and shame. History is not only dates, it shows the price of blind loyalty and war. The worst leaders are not always loud. They are the ones obeyed without question. And if we do not learn from the past, we risk repeating it. This story also trains your English through true events, emotional words, and simple sentences. You are not only learning history, you are practicing listening, speaking, and understanding. If this story touched you, if you learned today, and if you want more true and educational videos like this, subscribe to this channel now. Every video is made with one goal: to help you learn, grow, and become stronger in English and in life. Thank you for watching. See you in the next story.